Testing.
Hello?
Test.
Yes.
Oh god, I need
God, this is so much better.
I know.
I had started to tune out the static in the background.
Yeah. Me too. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what good sound quality sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
God, okay.
I think everyone got over. So, barring any other problems with Discord, we'll just be sticking here, hopefully.
Yes.
Um,
So, I bought 2 sheets of parchment.
4 if
4
you pay
sheets of
2
parchment.
silver. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, do you have a dagger, sir?
You'd want to probably speak to the blacksmith for that kind of stuff.
That's fine. I just thought I should probably pick one up, actually. In that case, why don't we head over to the blacksmith and meet the other two?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Okay. Around this time, August and you both reach the blacksmith. As you are getting closer, you can see a pillar of smoke coming out of it. And when you do enter, you see a rather buff human male standing over a smithy currently and seems to be hammering away at something.
I walk up and I'm just like, hey, you got any way stones? I need some to maintain my weapons.
He kind of continues to hammer for a couple more seconds. And he kind of then turns back to you. Yeah, we have a few, yeah. Sorry, let me just, and he kind of puts down the hammer, and kind of steps over to the counter next to it. So you said you're looking for some waste stones?
Yeah.
How many? Just one? Couple?
About 3 for now.
Okay. That would be 5 copper or so.
Alright. Yeah, I hand over the copper.
Anything else you were looking for?
Not me personally, but he came with me.
Yeah, and what about you?
Oh, I just came along for the ride. Wanted to see things and how they operate here.
This is a blacksmith. It operates as most do, I would think.
Seems like it.
As about this time, Starlin and I'll say you would be entering the building.
Yo.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Kind of turns to you entering.
I understand you can sell me a dagger.
Yeah, we have some.
Lovely. How much?
5 gold.
For a dagger? That's a bit steep, isn't it?
I mean, it might be, but I'm the only blacksmith in town.
Taking advantage of your monopoly.
I suppose you could call it that.
I mean, 5 gold is kind of more than double than what I was expecting to pay.
Well, I mean, I'm sure then you could purchase a dagger elsewhere.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, thanks anyway.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Not paying 5 gold for a dagger. Let's go.
Okay. So are you all leaving the blacksmith then?
Yeah. Didn't have anything
Sure.
else to do.
Okay.
I don't know what time it is, but I feel like we have just some hours to chill.
Yeah, it's probably getting around 1 in the afternoon around now. So you do have some time to kill.
Do you guys just want to relax? How about I help you read through some more of that book? and I'll get some more flashcards ready.
Okay.
That is not the worst idea.
Yeah,
Said.
I'll probably be spending the time maintaining my weapons.
Okay. The only thing I would say is, if you'd like, you could just do that with it, or you could try to start working to fix your gun.
Oh.
Choices,
How about-
choices.
How about I read you the book while you fix your gun?
I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm. But I'm reading it in Sylvan, so you have to pay attention.
I don't know if I can multitask.
I'm like that Spanish teacher that only
It's fine.
speaks Spanish in class.
Let me provide you with some studying.
Oh, great. So I'm trying to talk over the bagpipe.
While he's all trying to fix a very delicate weapon. I'm
Let's make this
sure.
as difficult as possible.
I'd say you have two choices here. You could either just make a roll with your tinkerer's tools, just to try to fix it right away and try to see what happens, or you could spend some time doing an investigation roll and seeing if you can identify the problem, which will make it like easier to fix.
Yeah, let's do an investigation roll.
Okay.
Oh, let's see here. If I can see my screen, we'd be in good shape. There it is. Investigation, flip over here, hit submit. Oh, 28.
Wow.
How come
Yeah,
yours are
there you
always
go.
delayed?
Okay. Looking over it, you're actually very rapidly able to identify. It seems that it had been a pretty, I mean, not standard because it's not necessarily, but a pretty usual kind of misfire with the triggering mechanism kind of going off kilter, causing it to malfunction. At this point, then you could make a Tinkerer Tools roll with a significantly lower DC. So,
Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun.
okay. It takes an hour or two. It's just a lot of fine tuning. But
Those were
after-
thieves' tools, but same difference,
is-
yeah.
you unlocked your gun very well. You picked that. It is the same modifier, though, right? So
I
it's no
believe
big-
so.
It's no biggie. Over a couple hours, you're able to kind of tinker with the locking mechanism, and you're able to realign it. And as far as you can tell, it should be functioning again.
Sounds good. Maybe we should go out and test it.
You could if you'd like.
Yeah, let's go test it.
Okay. I mean, you still, at this point, by the time you've investigated it and kind of looked it over and ended up tinkering and fixing it, it's probably about like 3 in the afternoon, so you still have a few hours to kill.
Cool.
Where
right.
would you like to attempt to test your...
Out in the fields.
Okay. So you walk a ways out into the fields.
I'm going with him, just to make sure he's okay.
Yes, to make sure he doesn't like shoot
Murder
himself
anyone.
or kill anyone, I suppose. Okay. You could do an attack with the thunder cannon. Are you trying to hit anything or just firing it off randomly?
No, just firing it into a tree, maybe. And one of these days, there we are.
Okay. And with a resounding boom, it does fire off and smashes into the tree.
Excellent.
Have you ever thought about making a quieter weapon?
I'll have to consider that.
We were also thinking about the armor for Papa, but at the rate this blacksmith is charging,
Yeah.
Yeah, we might want to
wouldn't be
find
feasible.
Yeah.
Could have insight checked him. But okay. So what would you like to do? Anything else specific over the next couple hours while you're waiting for the meeting?
I'd like to walk about town, talk to some people, get to know them, see who's hot and who's not.
See who's hot and who's not.
I would like to watch him do this.
Okay. Anyone else?
I will meditate for a while.
Yeah, I'm just gonna find a nice shady spot and, make sure my weapons are totally fine, that kind of thing.
Okay. It's not exactly like a bustling village. There's a couple people around town, and you could go out to the fields and attempt to talk to some farmers if you'd like. But yeah, who would you like to try to talk to?
Let's see. Who's the first person I see?
You're out in the fields still, I presume.
Yeah, I don't think we've walked back yet.
Then the first person that you would currently see is a farmer, just down the field, seeming to be looking over some of the crops.
Okay, well, let's go talk to him.
Okay, and Alice, you're just tagging
I would
along.
like to see this social interaction.
Okay.
Merely an observer.
All right, so you head over. He kind of turns up to you and looks over both you and Alice as you're approaching.
Hello.
What can I do for your folks?
We're here in the village. I'd like to get to know some of the people here, see what you guys are about, where you're from, where you're going. Who's who?
I'm just a farmer. I mean, probably born here, probably gonna die here.
Oh, so you've lived here your whole life, huh?
I have indeed.
Do you have any kids?
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, how old are they?
I think Timmy's now 5 and Samantha's 7.
Oh, you got them to work yet here in the fields?
A little, but they can't do much yet.
Yeah, well, give them time; they will.
That's
So,
the idea.
how long has this town been around?
At least a couple of generations. My grandparents were born here. Probably predates that, though.
Yeah, probably. Tell me about the mayor. What do you know about him?
Good fella. Cares for us. Makes some good trades. Pretty popular around town. Definitely, I mean, not everyone's favorite, but he supports us, and I can appreciate that.
Oh, that's good to hear. What kind of commerce is predominant here in town?
Mostly agriculture. Although there has been some attempts at other material gathering. There's some. I know there was some. What were they doing out there again? There were some groups before that were going out to the forest, collecting different kinds of herbs and selling them with nearby villages. There also used to be some kind of trade agreement with one of the bigger cities, but I don't get involved in that kind of stuff.
That sounds interesting. What kind of crops are you growing?
Currently, this field is mostly just potatoes.
I ran into some rotten potatoes this morning. They didn't smell too good.
They usually don't.
Yeah. All right. So, where's a good place to meet people here in town?
I mean, most people keep to themselves here. If there's some kind of event, I mean, people gather at the center of the village, maybe in the mayor's residence. Otherwise, I mean, from time to time, have people over eat, but there's no maybe the tavern, but not till the evening.
Do you guys ever have any celebrations or any special events?
Oh yeah, we got some festivals.
Hmm. All right.
Harvesting, when a good crop comes in, people like to celebrate.
Of course they do, yeah. Well, I appreciate talking to you. I think I'm going to head back in towards town now, so y'all have a good day.
You too. Is that your companion there? And he points to Alice A.
Yeah, that there's Alice A. She's been teaching me some new language, and quite nice.
Hello.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I suppose you'll be at that meeting that people are talking about tonight.
Yes, sir. You coming by?
I might show up. I'm not, a big shot or anything, but I like hearing what's going on.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Should be interesting. All right. Yeah, well, have a good one. Nice meeting you again.
You too. Kind of nod you off.
And we'll head back towards town.
Okay. Are you looking to talk to anyone else in the village?
I'm going to look for a bathroom.
In the village?
Well, in real life.
Okay. So just heading back to like the tavern then or so?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds fine indeed. Would anyone else like to do anything over the next couple hours besides what you mentioned before?
I'm going to read my book again.
Okay. Okay. So at this point, it's getting around 6 or so. The meeting's probably in about an hour, around there. I mean, it's not like hard time or anything, but people are starting to come back from the fields as the sun is setting. It's getting into later evening. You're all currently in the tavern. It might be worth coming up with some kind of game plan or something akin to that, I suppose.
Oh, I thought this was just gonna be like an AMA. Like they're just gonna ask us stuff.
Well, there might be some of that, but...
Oh, right. We've been given some negotiating powers. Maybe now's a good time to figure out what those are.
Okay. I'll just... So I don't have to repeat myself. I'll just wait till Sunny's back. But
we should decide. We shouldn't, just to make sure that we don't say contradictory things. Who wants to interface the most directly with the people?
I'm happy to talk to them if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I think you're our most senior man, aren't you?
Well, I mean, technically yes, but Alice is actually older than I am.
Oh, okay. Well, she's our most senior woman.
I think that you have a better chance of interacting favorably with these people.
Okay, then I'm happy to do so.
Okay.
And you see we're in the tavern still?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to take a look around and see if anyone catches my eye.
Okay, before you do that, though, I did just want to just go over very briefly, like, kind of what your negotiating powers are.
All right.
Basically, your goal is to get them to join the Republic, the Orthan Republic. Within those powers, you can grant protection. You can grant open trade, and you can grant kind of as part of that open trade, kind of, I don't know what the best phrase for that would be. stipend's not the right word, but you can kind of grant like a bonus of trade and goods and gold initially as part of that. You also know that while you need authorization to take the next step from your higher up, if these negotiation steps failed, once you've contacted your commander and kind of laid that out and everything, the next step would be basically more forceful negotiation. We'll just call it that for now.
We would appropriate this place without their will.
Well, you'd start with threatening the appropriation of the place without their will,
Yeah,
but yes.
But that's not our job, right?
Not necessarily, no.
I mean, I suppose it probably depends on whether or not, how big the village is.
Yeah.
That has some determination, but yes.
I was thinking, just because of the split nature of this village, perhaps we should also have someone who is human front and center. Just to appeal to the widest margin. So either for August.
Are you saying that they won't listen to me because I'm an elf?
I'm saying that we have the greatest chance of influencing the most people if we have a human and an elf. We've already been told that there's some racial tension here, so there may be some humans who.
I mean, I assume I'm not going to this meeting alone.
No, we'll be behind you. It's just to make sure that we don't all butt heads. It's probably not a good idea for all of us to be throwing out deals. And
Right, yeah.
Okay.
We should have a centralized team for that.
I mean, well, we have 2 humans here.
Yep. I'm sure it'll work out. Perhaps I'm just over.
Yeah. Well, I can throw to one of the 2 humans then if we need a human opinion.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds like
You're
we've got a game
all pretty
plan.
much ready to go then.
I think so. I'm ready. I'm psyched for this.
Okay. So you all head over to the central kind of mayor's residence, we'll call it. I was going to say office, but that's not quite right. Okay. As you are approaching, you do see quite a bit more traffic within the village. It seems that this is stirring up a bit of a hubbub. You're definitely getting some looks again. Like, everyone knows that you're kind of like the outsiders, the representatives that everyone's been talking about the past day or so. As you do reach the residence, for the first time that you've been here, there is a guard posted at the door. As he sees you approach, though, he kind of raises his hand up. You're the representatives, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Right this way. And he kind of opens the door and leads you inside.
Can one of us do maybe a perception check or something to make sure that things are still kosher?
It depends on what you want to do. Perception would just be like looking around your surroundings and seeing if there's anyone. You could insight check him.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll see. Is there anything funky going on?
Okay. Would anyone else like to roll insight or?
Why not?
Sure.
You're very insightful.
No.
And mine is so waggy.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's average insight, but as far as you can all tell, different variant to it, but it seems that everything's still fine. August and Alice say you both notice the guard is a little bit on edge, but it doesn't seem to be like hostile towards you or anything like that.
Yeah, he's probably more worried that like a probably will break out if anything too bad happens.
So let's just try and keep things cool and not say anything too inflammatory.
Okay. As he is, so you're all following him then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As he's leading you through, he does lead you into kind of a side hallway that you hadn't been down before. Normally, you're just kind of taking a straight shot to that center chamber. And there's a kind of a small room off to the side of that chamber that seems to have been prepared for you. There's some refreshments, there's some food set out on a small table to the side. You'll just be waiting here while some of the committees and leaders talk about some kind of consensus, and then once they're ready for you, we'll bring you out. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Which one of you will be talking? All of you, one of you.
That would be me mostly.
Okay. Have you discussed that with the mayor?
I don't follow you.
Never mind. It's not important. I'm sure he'll talk to you before. It's fine. And he kind of walks out of the room.
Dun dun dun.
That doesn't seem ominous at all. But okay.
But there's some nice snacks on the table. It's probably fine.
Oh, more food.
We eat the food.
Yes. Okay. They'll just walk back in and you're just all stuffing your faces. Okay. As about 15-20 minutes passes, you definitely hear some noise. There just seems to be several loud voices talking in that center chamber to the side of the room you're in. Can't make it out unless you're going to try to.
Okay. Crazy plan, guys. Why don't we burst into the room and interrupt the conversation and tell them all to shut up because they're going to join the Orthan Empire, because that will stop all the bickering.
That seems a tad
yeah, it's a little much. How about we just try to listen to what they're saying and then we make our decision on what we need to do.
Can I see if I can hear them with my perception?
You could indeed. You could all, if any of you would like to try to eavesdrop on the conversation.
Definitely.
And there's that mysterious blank. Okay. Alice,
the suspense.
It's basically just muffled voices. You can make out like a word every 10 words or so, but you can't make out much. August, you could pick up a few more things. There seems to be a pretty heated debate going on right now between two voices. You can make out one as the mayor's. You don't recognize the other voice. Sarlin, you hear that argument a bit better. From what you can pick up listening for a couple of minutes, it seems to be an argument of, you can't exactly make out the exact details that they're arguing about, but it does seem to be a matter of protection and guaranteeing rights, basically.
Okay.
The mayor's, like, you do not recognize the other voice either, but the mayor does seem to be, from what you can sound like, he seems to be dismissing those concerns right now.
Okay. Yeah, guys, it sounds like they're talking about stuff that they really don't have the information to talk about yet, because we haven't told them anything, like, real. So maybe we should interrupt.
I'm just worried that it might send the wrong message. That I might show
but
that
you see, I'm all about the message. I'm all about the flair and the drama of the dramatic entrance.
If you think that's best, then I will follow your wisdom.
I don't think we need drama right now. I think we need to play it calm and cool.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Although I do like flair.
Flair is what I'm all about, baby.
Let's just give them.
But yes, I'm happy to. I don't mind waiting. It's so if you want to do it that way.
I mean, if you'd like, you could try to gauge like how long are you probably willing to wait before doing something.
Let's give it
We
like 10
won't,
minutes.
we won't wait here forever. I mean, at some point.
I'd say after 10 minutes, we at least knock or something.
Yeah.
All right. It's getting pretty close to that 10 minutes, but before that passes, the mayor with a different guard, similarly dressed. It's not quite a uniform, but it seems to at least be trying to be something like a uniform, but it's not. It's kind of mishmash. But the mayor walks in with the guard. Is everybody doing?
We are quite well, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Are you all prepared and ready?
We are
Yes.
indeed.
There are some hesitancies, certain people in this decision-making process, just so you're aware of that.
We're here to help smooth the process over.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll be able to allay any concerns.
What are they
That's-
hesitant about?
Trust me, they'll let you know. They just talked my ear off for the fucking past 30 minutes. Do you have you guys all decided yet which one of you, or more than one of you, I guess, is gonna try to sell them on this thing?
But I think predominantly it will be myself. But of course, I'm sure, be referring to my colleagues on their own areas of expertise.
Okay. That could work.
Do you have something else in mind that might work better?
Well,
I mean, give us some insight here. I mean, we can use all the help we can get.
yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm completely sold on this myself right now, but that should be fine.
Let us speak as the voice of wisdom and experience.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, my friend, I'm older than your great grandfather, so
He's quite dead, so
exactly. I
yeah,
I was
yeah.
old before he was born, so
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, it should be fine. You can speak. There might be some resistance, just so you know.
we
Uh,
Appreciate the heads up.
Believe me, you're not the first village we've come to, and everybody's been happy so far. So
I meant resistance to you and your friend.
yeah.
There are any points to Alice?
I have met bigots before as well. Don't worry.
All I'm saying is, if it gets heated, defer to one of your other friends, okay? If you want to try to succeed here.
Sure. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. Right this way, then. And he opens one of the doors and leads you out into that center chamber. You do see pretty immediately, like, it has been changed since the last time you saw the room. There are several rows of seats set up, and you see a few dozen villagers there. And the central table has been, like, kind of pushed towards the end of the room, and there seems to be a group of people sitting there currently, including him. You presume he's going to sit there. His seat is kind of at the center where he was sitting before, just, shifted back. There is another 5 seats. 3 of them on one side are human, and the other 2 on the other side are elf. And there are also 4 seats available for you as well, kind of along the table as well.
Are they all men?
They are all men.
Okay.
You do see a couple of women in the crowd, but it is, again, primarily men, it seems like.
Okay.
He kind of leads you over to the table, kind of waves out his hand to the chairs, and then moves over and takes his seat. You do notice there are 2 guards standing at the doors to the central, to the main entrance into this center room, as well as 2 guards kind of standing on the flanks of the table.
Take the heat.
Okay. As you are all taking your seats, there seems to be some chatter, some talking, some pointing at you and the group. After about 30 seconds passes, he clears his throat. We'll come to order now, and at that, most of the chatter dies down. Okay. So, as we've been discussing, these representatives here are from the Orthan Republic, and they've been offering this village an opportunity to join their republic as a member. But instead of me talking more, I'm sure everyone's tired of that, I'll let them take it and give their spiel, and then we can come for discussion. And at that point, he kind of turns to you, Sarlin.
Okay, so I'll stand up and I'll give a theatrical little bow, and say, "Good evening, gentlemen and ladies. I am Sarlin Amakir, servant of the Orthan Republic. And my colleagues and I have come here, as your mayor has most graciously said, to offer you the opportunity to join the Orthan Republic and all that represents. The prestige of being part of the mighty nation, the protection and security that comes with it, and the bountiful trading opportunities that come along with all such things. It is indisputable that it will vastly improve each of your lives in a deeply personal manner, and will make Mard grow ever more prosperous for your children and grandchildren. You have already seen that we are as good as our words, taking care of your little knoll problem for you effortlessly, and we are but one tiny group of the Orthan Republic. So I'm sure you can see, you should join our great nation.
Yeah, with that, the mayor kind of turns to you. Now, there have been some concerns that have been expressed by several members on this council, as well as members of the village. Again, instead of me speaking for everyone, I figured I could open it up to several questions from the council, and then turn it over to some of the villagers here, if that is all right with you.
Of course.
At this point, there's of the 3 humans, 2 seem to be kind of younger, middle-aged. They seem to be kind of active farmers. It looks like they're pretty well built and whatnot. One of them is fairly older, long white hair and a beard. He turns to you at this point. Now, one of the concerns that have been raised is the role of this village in the Republic, and what our autonomy would remain within that organization. Could you speak to what autonomy we would retain in such an agreement?
Certainly. I would imagine that you would not see, on a day-to-day basis, a substantial change in how matters here in Mard are run. The Orthan Republic is a large and growing nation. And it is made up of many such towns, villages, and indeed cities that have come together to form it. Most such entities have expressed much the same concern as you, and a respectable degree of autonomy is maintained over the day-to-day running of the nation. Sorry, day-to-day running of your town. The majority of the Republic government's involvement is at a national level, concerned with the larger movement of trade throughout the nation, protection of the country's borders and its citizenry as a whole. So you would expect to maintain a rough degree of control over things here locally.
Kind of nods his head, at which point one of the younger humans turns to you at this point. Well, that's all good and fine. I presume that as a member of this republic, we would be expected to offer some kind of tax or offering.
Of course. You don't get anything for free. But of course, the taxation you're paying is pittance compared to the extra money you will all be earning from the dramatically increased trade that the Orthan Republic brings to you, and the protection from its soldiery. You yourselves, as your mayor has told us, have lost money and people multiple times a year from the recent null activities, and I assume from other banditry events that have been going around. The Orthan Republic would take care of all of that for you, meaning that you would not lose any of that either. Financially speaking, you will all be better off, regardless of any taxation.
Kind of again nods his head, and it seems like the mayor's about to say something, but before he can, one of the elves at the other end of the table interrupts him and kind of, and what about our rights? You say we'll be offered protection as citizens, but can you actually guarantee anything in terms of our equal participation in, again, I suppose, just basic rights?
Am I not proof of that enough myself? Do I not stand here as the leader of this little expedition? I am myself an elf. The Orthan Republic is not a human nation. It is simply a nation. It has many different peoples within it. It functions better for that.
At which point the other elf, slightly older, hard to pin down exact age probably, but that's all good and fine, but even you admitted yourself that this village will retain its autonomy, so the struggles our people face here, will those even be absolved in any real way, or will we be suffering the same as before? Before you can answer, though, several of the human representatives start turning towards him and it's like, what do you mean? Your people are fine here, and you're immigrants anyways. I mean, you're not even... Nothing is going on here. There's nothing... Again, there's nothing to that statement. Any kind
Can I insight check the humans?
Yeah, yes, you could.
Oh, 9.
As far as you can tell, he seems to be, in his mind, saying the truth.
Can I insight check the elf?
You could, yes. And very similar seems to be, again, as far as you can tell, speaking the truth.
I'll sort of interrupt them and wait for them to quiet down a moment again before I respond. We have heard a little rumors of some of the trouble that you have been having here in the village. On the issue of who is and isn't an immigrant, I can say definitively that will be resolved, as you shall all be brand new members of our great nation, subject to exactly the same rights and privileges as each other. The laws of the Orthan Republic are pretty, and stop me, Lucas, if I'm going off here, but are pretty clear that regardless of species or race, each person has the same rights as any other, unless they are a convicted criminal of some description. I am not aware of the specifics of whatever trouble that you have been experiencing here, Elder, but it is safe to say that the soldiery of the Orthan Republic would not tolerate sectarian violence.
The man kind of nods his head, but which at this point, the older human man kind of turns back to you. Well, that's all fine and good, but would you then be saying that you would be interfering in our own structures in this village?
Not at all. Your structures would remain the same. You would, however, be expected to maintain common order as you do today, unless you are saying yourself that you do not do that now.
Saying no such thing.
Well, then, of course, you shall have no problem with it, should you?
Kind of turns away from you.
Yeah, I thought so.
At which point the mayor kind of steps in. These are just kind of expressing some of the arguments that have already been ongoing. Probably not the most productive to repeat in this format. Maybe we could turn to some of the villagers' concerns and whatnot.
Happily.
And then he kind of turns to the crowd. Again, as you're looking out to the crowd, it becomes pretty apparent that the majority of it is human, probably about 2/3 of the crowd or so. At which point, one of the humans kind of steps forward. Seems kind of steps in front of kind of some of the chairs and whatnot, and to address you. So we've had struggles with farming and whatnot. Would there be any provisions or laxes if, for instance, a harvest didn't come through and we couldn't necessarily meet a certain criteria or tax?
Absolutely. The I don't know what the sort of regional governors sort of equivalent kind of are called, but
it would be a governor, yeah.
The local governor who would have sort of the administrative responsibility for the overall region that Mard is in, would work with you depending on the specific scenario. I can't make concrete promises for any future event. It would depend on exactly what the nature of your problem was. But certainly it is in the interests of the Republic as a whole to make sure that all of its peoples are well fed, because just as you may be struggling next winter and require surpluses from the main government, so might the next village over the winter after and need to rely on your surpluses then.
Kind of nods and goes back to his seat. At which point another human steps up. And what guarantee would we have if we were to accept this deal and become part of the Orthan Republic that some of our own rights would be not infringed upon in your stances of equalizing citizenship.
I'm afraid it is a human.
It is a human, yes.
I'm afraid I do not understand the question, my friend. You would have to be more specific.
When your Orphan Republic comes in and grants everybody here citizenship, what guarantee do we have that some of the rights that we have within the city aren't in the village, aren't going to be removed?
Again, my friend, I must beg your pardon. I don't understand
Okay.
what right in question you are concerned about. Are there particular rights here in Mard that aren't afforded to peoples elsewhere in the region?
You could say that, yeah.
Could you be specific?
At which point, you hear a couple voices call out from the crowd. Basically, it's hard, you can't exactly pin down where it's coming from immediately, but he's like, he means he's worried that he's going to get his rights taken away and it's just going to be given to a bunch of elves.
Did these elves not already have the same rights to begin with?
Well, they're not, and this is the human saying, they're not, they're not like, I suppose if we're going to use your terms, like citizens of the village right now, no.
Well, what is wrong with making them citizens of the village?
I'm just saying that that's all fine and dandy, but
In which case, we have no problems, my friend. It's all fine and dandy.
but isn't there a threat then of us losing some of our rights that we already have?
How?
Well, I mean,
How does my right... I should ask you this question. How does my right affect yours?
well, next thing we know, there will be an elf trying to run this village.
I'm
Just
not
like
aware
you.
that that would be a problem.
That would be a problem to me. And you hear a couple murmurs of agreement within the crowd.
Ah, I understand. So you have a particular problem with elves, then?
I suppose you could say that, yeah.
Ah, we reached the root of the matter. Why don't I allow my companion August here, or Oof, to tell you what the Orthan Republic does with people who thinks that one race is better than another.
August is just gonna give him a dead stare, just like, "Why are you doing this?" Just giving this guy just a death stare, like, yeah, this is just dumb.
And do people chime in? It is all better when we are equal and treated as such. Civilizations, when there is strife within them, when there's discord, things don't go well for anyone. But when we all work together, great things can happen.
Well, if this republic is so great, why can't you just go and give all the elves their own village?
If they want to... Well, perhaps I should ask you this question then, my friend. If that was a good solution, why do we not simply turf all the humans out of Mard and we'll give you a new village and let the elves keep this one?
Well, we were here first.
Were you? In
It
the
wasn't-
grand scheme of things, my friend, I'm older than your grandfather's grandfather. I'm pretty sure I was here first.
Well, I meant to this village. This
Oh,
was
but
founded-
I've been through this area of the world before, and I'm pretty sure it was before your grandfather's grandfather was born. So again, I say to you, who cares who was here first?
No,
Or
I
can we
do.
not simply all live along together happily?
Well,
Or
I'm
do you just not like our pointy ears?
It's not just that. I mean, there's been dissidents here, and acts of, well, sabotage, you could say.
Oh, the Orthan Republic will of course take care of that for you. It has an excellent judicial system, and I'm sure any dissidents would be quickly and swiftly brought to justice. As you say, if there are such problems here, you must be struggling to do it yourselves. You should turn it over to the Orthan Republic, and they'll do it for you.
At this point, he kind of just shakes his head and goes back to his seat.
Anybody else?
At this point, there's quite a few murmurs from the crowd. It's getting actually a little loud, and the mayor kind of calls back out to the crowd. Please, everybody, if everyone could just settle down for a little longer, just let these representatives speak. But as he's kind of saying that, there's several people shouting out from the crowd, both at you and to the mayor, and it's starting to get a little bit disorganized.
Okay, I'd like to shout. Perhaps we can offer some more concrete examples of the benefits the Republic. It does feel like I should be calling it the Empire.
I feel like that's accurate.
Yeah. In terms of protection, the Republic will be expanding its military outposts in the region, and there would be, I assume it's fair to say, regular patrols, and you could, in times of particular trouble, petition the governor, who would station more soldiery here. You would be able to join up with those forces yourselves, become part of the Republic's army. In terms of trade, we would be running a brand new route through the region, directing trade specifically through the villages around here, so that you would receive many more exotic goods and people looking to buy your goods. We can also offer, why do we call it, a welcome bonus of gold and resources and supplies to help expand the village to meet the new demand for trade that you will be experiencing.
As
regardless of what you think of the pointiness of one's ears, I assure you that the gold is the same wherever it comes from.
There seems to be some discussion amongst the crowd, as well as several members at the table. And as the discussions continue to grow, the mayor kind of turns to you and is like, if that's the entirety of your offer right now, would you excuse everyone so that we could have a discussion amongst ourselves and then have a vote on it?
Unless any of my colleagues have anything else they'd like to add before we leave.
I shake my head no.
No.
I'm at peace.
Thank you very much for your time, people of Mars. We await your decision.
At which point, one of the guards kind of steps aside and kind of is motioning you back to the room that you were in before.
Once we're alone.
What?
Are we alone now? Does the guard leave?
Yeah, as kind of enter back into the room, they close the doors behind you, and you are, as far as you know, alone.
If we have to come back here to conquer these people, dibs on the racist guy.
People of this village.
I'll hold him up for you.
It's as
I mean,
if
I
they
won't, like,
don't
kill
want to make progress.
I know, it's like, dude, I thought they'd be a bit more circumspect about it, but it was like, I don't want an elf running this place.
I would just like to say, I think you conducted yourself very well.
Thank you.
Yes.
I put on my diplomat's face for it specifically.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing out of my fellow humans' mouths. It's unthinkable.
It's a little troubling. I assume, Lucas, sorry, that the Orthan Republic is quite multicultural in terms of the races in it.
Yes, it is origination of the Republic is mostly human, but yeah, there's no like policies of like racism or anything, and it at this point has pretty much every major race under its banner. Some more than others. The primary races would probably be elves and humans, but there's a decent amount of gnomes and dwarves, halflings as well. But yeah,
cool.
To be entirely honest, I'm not sure that. I mean, if they do say no, I'm not sure we would be sent back here. With the people the way they are, I'm not sure they would actually contribute much to the Republic. This is more of a favor of us to them.
I mean,
they have a few paltry farming lands and one black.
They want the region, though. I sincerely doubt they'd just leave a satellite village sitting in the middle of it.
If we come back, it's going to be as conquerors, not diplomats.
Yeah. They'll just. I reckon they would just roll right over it and use it as just tear it down and use it as farmland or something.
Yes.
Hopefully, it doesn't come to that. Hopefully, these people can make a rational decision.
I mean, it seems like it's only a portion of the human population that has a problem. It's not all of them. I mean, nobody was rude to us when we were walking around town earlier. I mean, they looked at us a bit weird because we're out-of-towners, but nobody was...
I'm just worried that portion of the population
that was why I got charged. That may explain the blacksmith trying to charge me 5 gold for a freaking dagger.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the blacksmith who was talking, was it? I should have asked that. So.
It's possible that this is a much more a small problem with a small subset of humans, but they're very vocal about it.
Yeah.
And we tend to know that the squeaky wheel here might be magnified more than it should be.
Well, I suppose we'll see the results of that after the vote.
True.
After about another 10-15 minutes passes, a guard does come back into the room, and they're ready for you now.
Thank you. Let us respond. If it's a no, we should just warn them about the possible repercussions and explain that we'll be reporting back. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
In the gentlest of terms, yes.
Well, I don't think we should warn them. I think
should see their reaction first.
We should express our satisfaction with the answer, but anything else is up to the superiors.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you all ready then to head back into the room?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. As you do head back in, there does seem to be quite a bit of commotion. It seems that whatever the argument or discussions that were going on were a bit heated again. But as you do enter, the mayor kind of turns over to you. Like, I believe we're all ready for the vote now. Are there any final words that you would like to give us before we proceed?
Just that we would encourage you in the strongest possible terms to join us in prosperity.
Fair enough. Okay, it's time then. At which point, he kind of shifts in his seat a little bit. So, we've had our discussions. We've had some answers from these representatives. And now it is time to vote. All members of the council that are for a unification with the Orthan Republic in their terms of protection and trade can say aye. At which point, one elf, one human, and the mayor says aye. And all those opposed can say nay at this moment, at which point the older elf and the two younger humans both say nay. With that tie, as my position in mayor, as tiebreaker, that will have the motion pass forward, and we will then be joining the Orthan Republic. At which point the crowd basically erupts into like argument again.
Huzzah!
Screaming.
A very wise decision.
Do we have the paperwork on us, perchance?
Yes, you would have some. It's not like the full treaties or anything, but you have some basic documentation. Yeah.
Lovely. I would immediately produce those and a pen and a quill pot. Just be like, well, I'd need Alice to get that.
Yeah, I pull a quill. I have
like, right, quick, get them to sign before they change their mind or start a riot.
Yep.
At which point the mayor kind of looks you over, and then ends up.
These are just the basics. They'll have a more formal signing ceremony with the treaties and stuff.
Yes, of course. And looks over the document very briefly, but seems to be wanting to get out there himself, and just quickly signs it.
Great.
Wonderful. Welcome to the Orthan Republic. We will now report back to our superiors of the good news. They will be sending, I assume, some sort of trade delegate. I assume that's what they send next, is some sort of delegation to do things formally and set up.
It would be a formal, basically a formal trade and diplomatic delegate to basically just do the ceremonious part of it and work out some of the smaller details in trades and taxation.
Absolutely. Wonderful. It's a pleasure doing business with you.
Indeed.
We should leave before we get murdered, everyone.
I don't think there's any chance of that.
If you'd like, the room are still on offer to you, but if you would like to leave, you can as well. Word of warning, it's not exactly the safest at night, but it's up to you. I can understand if you would not like to stay.
I mean, I feel as though that guy who kept talking super racist stuff at me is probably going to try and get some revenge.
Advised on his part.
If you would like to stay, we can post guards.
Oh no, it's no trouble for us to head back tonight, guys, right? That's like, at least we can travel for a few hours and then set up camp for ourselves.
I don't know if that's safer.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm not afraid of these villagers.
I mean, I'm not afraid of them. I just don't want to ruin the good moment by murdering a few of them when they attack us in the middle of the night.
We could not murder them, right? Is that an option?
Definitely is an option, but given I'm thinking more of sort of August and yourself. I mean, August tends to get a bit, sees red and then kills things, and you tend to be doing things that are either completely lethal or not helpful in combat at all.
Yeah, I don't know how to non-lethal.
You don't really have just from my own experience of watching you fight, you don't seem to have a stun setting.
You're correct. I guess I can fight with my rapier sheath, but yeah. You're right. We should probably go.
I don't know. I think we should stay and get a feel in the morning of what the citizenry is thinking, so we can take that information back with us. They might sleep on it tonight and be more amenable to it in the morning.
I feel like honestly, sleeping on it will probably make them madder, not less. Not.
I feel like he only offered us the rooms out of a courtesy, and he probably just doesn't want us to accept it.
Yeah, it would be our luck that the racist guy owns this place.
Possibly. I think.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I think we should leave. Yeah, let's just get out of here. I mean, it's not like it's late.
It's about 8
it's
o'clock
gotta be
at
like
night
8
at this
o'clock,
point.
right?
Yeah, 8, 9. at
Yeah,
night.
So
so
we'll be
we could travel
traveling
till
into the
midnight,
dark.
and then yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like this place is that dangerous. We took out what is apparently the main problem for this area, which is the gnolls.
That's true. And I think
Yeah.
we got most of them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like they're bears or.
Yeah, I mean, like bears are dangerous, but then we can take a couple of. I mean, I really sincerely hope we can take a couple of bears, guys.
TPK incoming.
Yeah,
The bears descend.
the grandmother owl bear appears and just murders us.
Okay, so
sounds like we're leaving.
Yes. Quickly.
okay, so you're all leaving then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's pop and roll out.
All right. We'll just take, if it's okay with everybody, a quick 5-minute break.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. All right.
Okay, doke.
Be right back.
I am back.
Hello.
That went better than I thought it would.
It did.
I was prepared to kill some village. I thought it might happen.
Well, it ain't over yet. What kind of service can you run on AWS?
I'm running an S3 server. I don't really know what else there is, 'cause that's all I needed for my own use. Yeah, I thought it would be like a subscription thing, but it's free to sign up.
Mm-hmm.
There was one thing I didn't really understand what it was. It was like a beanstalk thing. I have no idea what I was doing though, so I just closed that.
Mm-hmm. Are you developing an application that you need it for, or
personal website?
Mm-hmm.
My uncle was telling me it looks better on resumes for computer science stuff if you have a website. So
Yeah.
just been putting stuff on there.
Who is doing your DNS hosting?
I think it's just through Amazon. I haven't had to set anything up on my end, and it's pretty much everything is through them. I bought the domain name through them, which is all I paid for. It was like $12 and 51 cents.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I have Amazon does all, or not Amazon, Google is doing all of my DNS work. And I love being able to have access to everything and changing, like setting up new domains and subdomains. It's super simple through Google.
Is Google's free?
It's $12 a month, just the price of the domain.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, and then the Linode hosting's $5 a month, but I have like a $20 credit on it.
Are they the same? Like I thought Amazon was owned by Google or something. Am I wrong with that?
No, Google and Amazon are totally separate entities. They have
between the two of them, they own like everything.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm on Linode, which I don't know if they're in an AWS facility or in a Google facility. But the one I'm in, the one I'm using virtual servers in is in Trenton, New Jersey, I think. And it is wicked fast.
I'm back.
Hey.
With AWS, were you able to like tell them what OS you wanted to run on it? Is it a virtual server or just like you just basically upload everything that you need?
Yeah, I just upload HTML files to the server and it just runs. I think it's running. I don't know what version of PHP it's running. But so far, I haven't had to get into the settings. Everything's because it's basically I just was converting one of my old class projects to the website. So and all my class stuff was on AWS too, so I haven't had to do any of that stuff.
There you go. Yeah, the service I was with, they supported a version of PHP that was so old that the shopping cart I needed to run couldn't use it.
PHP 1.0 or something.
Yeah, I was like, "What are you guys doing? Like, we're on PHP 4." And I'm like, guys, you're charging $18 a month for this service. It's slow. I'm like, see ya. I'm dropping you like a fly.
What was the cutoff with that? Oh, hey. I think we're still missing Connor?
No, so I've been here the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Here the whole time.
So we're all here.
Okay. All right. Sorry. So is there anything before you all leave the village? Was there anything else you wanted to do, or anyone you wanted to talk to, or are you just getting out of Dodge?
I don't think this is the time to make friends.
I think this is the best time to get the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pick up Papa and leave town.
Okay. When you do go to pick up Papa, you do see in the stables 2 elves in there, seeming to look look it over. Be looking it over, whatever.
Hello, my friendly elves. How are you doing?
As you kind of enter and say that, they kind of jump a little bit, surprised. Oh, are you the creator of this?
I am, yes.
Oh.
Do you
It's
have any
very
questions?
interesting.
Yeah, feel free. Look around.
Oof here is very brilliant.
So you made this on your own then?
Yeah, sure.
Well, well, it's not our place, but something like this would very much interest Krato. He's
Who's
kind
it?
of he's kind of our community leader. You probably saw him tonight, I think. He was probably on the council.
Which one was he?
He's the I guess he wouldn't like us saying this, but he's kind of the older, he's getting up there.
Mm.
He's the
and
dude that voted against us.
He is
Yeah.
one of the members that voted against you, yes.
Do you know why he voted in the negative?
Oh, did he? He probably has his reasons. He usually does.
What sort of interest would he have in a machine like this?
Again, it's probably not our place to say, but
I mean, it's a very nice machine, Oof. I think anyone would be interested in it.
Oh, I did work long and hard on it.
Well, I mean, one of the advantages that he's going to get now joining the Orthan Republic is maybe he'll be able to figure out how to build one of his own.
Lots of
Are you
resources.
serious about that? Does everyone get one? Where's mine?
that's not quite how it works. But well, I mean, like I said, it's not. But he's built a couple of things, not like this exactly, but kinda. Just thought he might have some interest in it, but seems that you guys are on your way out.
We were going to be on our way out, but maybe we should talk to. What'd you say his name was?
He voted against us. He
Yeah,
doesn't like
perhaps
us.
when we come through town the next time you can stop.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We could probably do that. Yeah. Tell him next time we're around. I'd like to speak with him.
It's getting kind of late. Oof. We should be going.
Well-
You guys are heading out?
It's getting past your bedtime.
It is, isn't it?
I guess just be careful out there. We don't normally travel around at night.
I would like to do an
You'll be able
inspection.
to soon, thanks to the Orthan Republic.
If you say so.
Why don't you usually travel at night?
There's been issues.
Could you perhaps be a tad more specific?
I mean, we don't really know ourselves.
Oh,
What?
so this is rumor then.
Rumor, hearsay, I guess, but I'd just say be careful. I mean, some people, we're not a big village, but some of our people, seems to be motioning towards them being elves, have, scouted in the area. There are ruins around here that Krato believes to be of our people.
Oh, that might make a decent camping ground.
Yeah, I definitely would like to talk to your. Would you say Udo?
Krato.
Krato. Yes. Sorry, my memory doesn't always work so well. Krato. I'd like to talk to him in the future because I'm all very interested in historical aspects of things.
But yeah, so he has organized a couple expeditions, kind of on the quiet side. Thought it would. He doesn't want to raise any larger eyes towards it right now. But
I'd like to inspect Papa, make sure nothing has happened to him while we were gone.
okay, you could do either a perception, just giving him a one over, or an investigation if you're trying to find something more detailed or something.
Yeah, I want to make sure he's.
Did they bug him?
Yeah.
They definitely have that technology for sure. All right. as you're looking him over, there doesn't seem to be anything out of place. And from what you can tell when you entered, even though you kind of startled them, it seemed that they were just kind of looking him over, kind of. One of them does kind of have a small piece of parchment out, and they do seem to have been taking some notes, but it seems that that's about it.
Okay. Well, I'm good to go, guys. Papa looks like he's ready to go. Shall we depart?
Be off.
Yep.
Bless you.
Okay, so you're all heading out then into the night.
Into the night.
Okay.
I imagine I have to grab someone
What?
because, nighttime, no dark vision.
Oh, I thought you meant like you were about to try to grapple someone.
No, just literally grab someone.
You
I'm
can
really
you've got torches though, right?
I think so, actually, yeah.
And unless we're trying to
Good
travel
have
super
torches.
stealthily.
Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about.
Yeah, I would like to don my goggles of night.
Yep, your night vision goggles, basically.
All
Can
right,
Papa
then.
see in the dark? Can Papa see?
Papa, yeah. Constructs automatically have dark vision, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I light a torch then.
Which would complicate, yeah, fair enough.
So everyone but you can see in the dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, technically, Uther can't, but he did choose the night vision goggles, so quite handy.
Stick close to me, August.
Okay, so you're all heading out. Are you just basically trying to take a straight shot back to the to where the camp is?
Let's travel back the path. We know that. Ish.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, you didn't run into any issues along the way.
And
So
actually, if
far.
I remember, our camp was pretty close, right? Could we make it there tonight? Like,
You
took us
would.
just a couple hours.
It took you half a day basically to get to the village.
So it was 12 hours or 6 hours?
If you could get there if you went straight, but you'd be forfeiting a long rest and entering into exhaustion.
Okay, let's just if we remember a nice spot to camp that we passed by, we can stop there.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I mean, if you're leaving around, well, at this point, it's probably around 9, and you said you wanted to travel till about, like midnight or something, you could get about halfway back to the camp. If that's suitable for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're just heading back pretty much the same path you came.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Do some rolls. I suppose that's outdated, but okay. You're able to travel fairly easily. I mean, the forest, as you kind of exit out of the clearing, eventually you're back into the forest. It's dark, obviously, it's nighttime. It's not that dense of a forest, so there's some moonlight coming down anyways, but dark vision or torch allows you to see, although you're only able to see, as far as the light goes for a torch, but which is about the same as dark vision, I guess. And you are able to travel for a few hours fairly uneventfully. I mean, you come across some wildlife, but nothing too threatening. Some rabbits, that kind of thing. A couple boar, but they don't seem to be much bothered by you. And it's about now. It's about coming around to midnight or so.
Okay. Is this place suitable to set up camp?
I mean, it's about as suitable as anywhere else. I mean, you passed a few possibilities along the way, but you want to keep going, obviously, instead of just stopping. But I mean, it's a forest. There are trees around and whatnot. A couple of rocks nearby, but yeah.
Okay. Let's just set up the tent here.
Sounds good.
So, Alan, do you want me to take the first watch this time?
No, I'm good. I can do the first
Okay.
few hours.
Okay, so everyone else then is sleeping or trancing. Okay. Yeah, okay. Then you can make 2 perception rolls for the 2 halves of your shift. Okay. As the hours pass, it's pretty similar to last night, actually. Fairly quiet. Some creatures, and again, you hear some wolves in the distance, but time passes pretty uneventfully, and the end of your shift comes.
Okay, I'll swap over with Alice.
Yep. I'm out of my trance. Find a nice place outside to sit and listen.
Same dealio.
You know, I noticed that. Oh,
There you go. You always start zoning out on the latter half.
I just get bored.
It's a long time with no
It's 4
interaction.
hours. No one to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Can't all be monks.
Can't all be monks. Or elves, I guess.
He is an elf.
Yes, I suppose that's true. Is there anything else you'd like to be doing during your watch, or just
Do I need to change out any of my spells? I think I'm good.
I mean, yeah, you could do that during. Technically, you've already had a full rest. You only need 4 hours, so.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay.
I feel like you're rolling things.
I am rolling things.
Don't do that.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually use the it's fine. But yeah, I do kind of an old school traveling rolls every time there's watches and stuff, just for kicks for myself. The night passes fairly uneventfully. During the first watch, half of your watch, you do feel a little uneasy, but it's still pretty quiet.
Second half, I'm zoning out a little bit, trying to keep watch, but I'm just my mind keeps wandering back to home.
Okay. Yeah, but for the most part, night slowly the dawn starts rising. I presume you wanted to, like, quote unquote, wake up at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, we could probably get up earlier, but
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want like the full 8 hours, about 8, it will be about 8 a.m.
yeah, okay.
But yeah. And morning does come, and everyone wakes up.
Good morning.
Oh.
Okay. So, just a few hours left till we get back to base, as it were.
Yes. Oof, I hope you've been studying your flashcards. I'm going to quiz you when we get back.
Okay. No. Boy, that did not rest well.
Are you okay?
That was a rough night.
How so?
Just a lot of bad dreams.
Oh.
you ain't the only one.
Oh. both of you are having bad dreams?
I mean, we don't dream, so
Is this the first time this has happened?
Last night too.
The last 2 nights you've been having bad dreams. Can I make a roll to see if I know of any type of magic? Like if they're afflicted or something?
Yeah, you could.
Do that. Just like
Uh,
racking my brain.
It does seem that there's something in your memory that seems something like this. Does seem like it would possibly be in the realm of some kind of curse or something, at least from the way it's being described.
Okay. Well, don't be alarmed. I won't know for sure. I mean, if it happens a third night in a row, then I'll definitely know that something's happening. But I have heard of certain types of magical afflictions that can cause repeated bad dreams. So, I get without any more information though, I can't figure out anything else about it. But you guys don't remember being cursed or anything, do you?
Closest I can think of is fighting those gnolls, but don't know if they have cursed magic or I don't know anything about magic.
I'll have a better look at you once we get back to the camp. I think we should pack up. But I'll be keeping a closer eye on our human companions just to see if any odd behavior or anything worrying.
Okay. I mean, they both seem quite tired, to say the least.
Like exhausted?
Yeah, they'd be technically yes. They would both be entering the first level of exhaustion.
oh, so they didn't
This
have
is
to
not
benefit from
good.
their rest.
This is not
Yeah,
good.
that's weird.
I don't know how to fix this. And I never learn remove curse.
Oh god.
Is there like a church back at the camp or like a priest?
There's a priest, yeah. Like
Maybe
kind
we should
of like
go.
cleric.
Like we should go talk to when we get back. Because you guys are looking really tired, and I'm really worried you may be cursed.
Is there any sort of like thing in elven mythology that might do this? Like,
You
not specifically a spell, but like
you could roll a history check if you'd like.
I'm not great at this, but I'll give it a try. Oh, yeah.
Nothing comes to mind, no.
I was just thinking because they were talking about like there's an elven place nearby and people have been weird about traveling at night maybe, but it's been 2 nights. Yeah, well let's get back to camp and figure out what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. On the road.
Maybe since they're tired, travel with them in the middle of the formation.
I was
Okay.
thinking, yes, sort of. I mean, I was thinking more a case of, well, I assumed we were traveling the same way we normally do, which is me up front with Popper in the back.
Oh, yeah. It's probably fine.
Because Popper doesn't need to sleep, I assume.
Nope. No sleeping.
What's the battery life on that thing?
Alright, so you're heading back to camp then?
Yes. Gotta hear somebody knows what's wrong with these guys.
Yeah. A little more urgency than before.
Okay. You do get back to camp around 11 or so, verging on noontime.
Let's go give our report, and then we'll see to our companions.
Yes.
Okay. So you're just heading kind of to the central tent then.
Yes.
Okie doke. Yeah, okay. Yeah, as you go in, it's a little busy, but you do spot the captain somewhat distracted, but he is sitting there at kind of like the center table or so.
Is he distracted talking to someone, or?
No, he seems to be looking over several reports right now.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, oh, you're back.
Yes.
We are indeed.
We've come to report to you that our diplomatic mission to Mard was successful.
They've agreed then.
Yes.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm quite willing, and he kind of moves a couple papers aside. Please go ahead.
And whoever was carrying the paperwork.
Yeah, I had the paperwork, so I'll pull it out and give it to him.
And kind of looks it over. Good. And I presume this fellow is the guy running the village? Pointing
Yes.
at the signature.
That is the mayor, and sort of mayor / head of the council.
Any difficulties?
Some racial tension going on between the humans and the elves.
Yes.
It was a pretty narrow vote, and there definitely seems to be some unhappiness on the human side about the elves being given the same status, but it seems to be I think it's that's a smaller portion of their population. It's not the majority of them.
So manageable.
I would say so.
It's good to hear. I'm sure that the delegates we send forward will be able to. I'm sure the delegates that we send out to the village will be able to hopefully smooth some of that over as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else to report? Any notes to pass on?
Probably worth mentioning, we destroyed a band of gnolls whilst we were there, which hopefully should have a knock-on effect to talk about in the other two nearby villages. And something is wrong with our human companions, that we need to get them checked out. We're not sure what's wrong with them. We need to do that because they're not able to sleep at the moment.
Something's wrong with them?
I believe they may be cursed. Don't
Yeah.
know the cause.
They're cursed.
Perhaps. I need to gather some more information. But 2 nights in a row afflicted by night terrors. That is not normal.
This only happened once you reached the village.
Yes.
No, because the first night would have been when we were camping out by where the gnolls were.
Well, yeah, but it started that night, right?
Yeah.
That was after we had been through the village.
Well, yes. So yes, one way or the other. Yes.
Huh. I'll make a note of it for any future parties being sent out, I suppose. But yeah, you probably should speak to the cleric. Whatever is going on. Anything else to pass on or information? So you said you took care of the band of gnolls or something, right?
Yeah, they were sort of in the middle of three villages, of which Mard was one of them. So any groups being sent to those other two villages can probably leverage that.
Sounds useful indeed. We can use that and leverage in the transactions as well, in the contracts and treaties. I'll make a note of that and make sure a messenger gets sent out to any other parties that are negotiating right now. But good work. I guess you have saved us some trouble too in the future, having to deal with those kinds of pests.
Yep.
Well, sounds like you all have earned yourselves, well, I would say a good rest, but I guess you have to figure that out.
Yes. I think so.
If the problems do persist or you aren't able to come to any solution, I would very much like a further report on this so that I can send it along and possibly try to get some kind of insight into what's going on.
Of course, sir.
Well, if that is all, you're dismissed again. Good job. Lunch will be served in about an hour in mess hall, so...
Thank you, Captain.
Now let's get you two to a cleric.
He continues to start looking back over his notes. Alright, so you're heading to the cleric then. It is in one of the smaller tents in this camp. But yeah, there's a cleric slash kind of priest kind of for the encampment. Are you all going there?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I presume you will be leaving Papa outside.
Mm-hmm.
Although it would be interesting to try to fit him inside the tent. But okay. As you enter, you do see the cleric. He's standing over right now. It seems like there's a kind of a body laid out, and he seems to be doing some kind of medicinal work there. It seems that one of your companions or people in this group had fallen under some kind of attack.
Is he almost done? Like, is he doing surgery?
No, he seems to just be patching up some wounds right now and reapplying bandages, basically.
After, sir, hi. After you're done with that, perhaps you could look at our companions?
Well, of course. If you could just give me a minute, and I'll be right with you. And at that point, he seems to be finishing up the last few bandages, and then turns back to the group. Yeah, so what can I do for you? Are one of you injured?
Why don't you describe your symptoms?
Nightmares.
Terrible nightmares.
2 nights in a row. I suspect they may be afflicted with some kind of magical ailment.
Now, I don't recall having nightmares 2 nights, but I definitely had nightmares last night. And they lasted all night long, and I am so tired.
I had 2 nightmares, yeah.
Sounds quite puzzling. Let's see now. If you could just step over here, and it's only these two. You've been traveling together this entire time?
Yes.
Well, we don't sleep, obviously, so...
You don't speak? What?
We don't sleep.
Oh, I thought you said don't speak. I'm like, you just don't speak to each other?
I know what you're saying.
Okay. So you think this has something to do with sleeping then? I mean, that makes sense.
If we are afflicted, we wouldn't know because we have no opportunity to have nightmares.
Yes.
So if you are able to figure out what's wrong with them, I would also like an examination to check.
That's actually a really good idea. we don't know if there is a problem, it might have other effects.
Should we try sleeping?
I don't even know how you do that. How do you sleep?
I've never done it before, but I think they just lay down and close their eyes. Is there like a bed here? I'm just gonna try.
Okay, are you? So you're attempting to sleep?
I'm gonna try and take a nap while he's checking them out.
Okay.
Science.
He kind of motions for you to come over.
Yeah, I do.
Let's see here. Do you have any other information besides?
I mean, we just killed a bunch of gnolls. Aren't they supposed to be? Didn't somebody mention that they were some sort of fiendish, demonic thing, possibly? And there was the village we were just in. Also had some sort of, apparently nearby was some sort of elven ruin, which might have had some significance. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that has any help.
Well, it's worth testing out, I guess, some different things. Would one of you like to go first, I suppose?
Sure.
Okay. Please step forward.
I do, yeah.
Okay. At this point, he seems to be kind of looking you over and trying to test out a few different things. Let's see. And you believe it's magical, right?
As far as we know.
Well, I'll try out a few things. Have you attempted anything yourselves yet?
No.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll just try at the basics. At which point he starts casting a couple of things. Well, it doesn't seem to be exactly magical. Let's see. Huh. Well, this is not good, but I suppose it's workable. It seems that you are currently cursed in some way.
We figured.
It seems to be some kind of presence, some kind of evil. Seems to originate from fiends. Huh. Well, this is problematic.
I've been unable to sleep. Sit up.
Let's see. Well, like I said, it's definitely a curse, and it definitely originates from some kind of fiendish evil magic. But sadly, I don't have the tools myself to remove anything like that. I mean, I have basic magic, but nothing quite of that level.
Do you think it might pass on its own after some time?
Well, I have no guarantees on that. If you could find the source, it would be helpful. Otherwise, we could possibly try to get someone with a higher rank within the order to come out and see what they could do. But that could take several days.
I'm trying to think. Because if it was the Knolls, then there's nothing we can do because we already killed them. Which is normally what I would think is the solution to this sort of thing.
Killing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, something cursed you, go kill it. But,
Kill it dead.
what if it was one of the villagers? I mean, we don't have any way of telling. What if there was a fiend amongst them?
Ooh.
That probably would make sense. They'd probably.
Can you check over Sarlin and I to see if either of us is cursed? Because that would narrow down the suspects.
That is fair enough.
If only the humans in our party were specifically targeted, it might have been perhaps an elf with low opinion.
Let's see here. Yes, either of you would be fine. Volunteer.
I would like to volunteer. I'm very curious about this process. Is this a spell that you cast?
Yeah, he's now that he knows he's currently casting basically detect good and evil.
Which deity do you serve?
Oh, I actually it's a tricky thing. I try not to serve anyone in specific, but several that are under the pantheon of protection.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, that's not the most common, I'm aware, but I try not to lean towards any one, which has limited my powers in some capacities, I would guess, but it's generally better within this order because we do have so many different worshippers, I guess.
Ah, see then. You're avoiding picking a side so that you don't alienate anyone.
Yeah, something like that, indeed. Not the most popular decision, but it's the one I made.
A logical one.
At which point, he does detect that. It's like, no, it appears that you are not cursed in any way.
Sarlin, perhaps?
Yeah, you can try me.
Because if neither of us are cursed, the options are either that we are somehow immune or that we were not targeted.
Sarlin is not cursed either.
Right.
Okay.
I know who I want to see.
You know who you want to see?
Well, we know especially of one elf that was interested in our
can't
group.
prove anything, though.
I mean, I know he was against us.
But we also have to think, it would have been someone we met on that first day, right? We didn't talk to
Yeah.
very many people. There was the mayor, and he was arguing with a woman.
And he said fiendish magic is what's cursed you, which makes me think it was the Knoll.
But then, what do we do in that case?
I don't know why we aren't cursed. I mean, Sarlin, you got bit the most by Knolls.
You died.
Actually, that's right, you got bit.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
so
think
did
any of the rest
I.
of us. Did you actually get bit?
Yes.
Oh,
Twice.
okay.
But you do,
You
I
got
mean,
bit like 8 times.
it was the heat of the moment, but oof, you probably would recall you were not bit in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, no, I wasn't bitten. Do we have any of the Knoll tails still?
You left them all
No.
at the village.
No.
But I feel fairly confident in ruling out Knolls as the cause of this.
Yeah.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, I mean, I could myself, maybe in my presence, tonight, and we can see if it's still ongoing or if this maybe is rooted in something. And if it seems that you are being disturbed in some way in your sleep, I can cast protection from good and evil, at least to prevent as a preventative measure for now, but as a test to see if it's still ongoing.
I mean,
I think that is a very
that's fine. Yeah,
good choice.
good idea.
Yeah, I'd like to get some rest.
Well, until then, there's sadly not much I can do for you.
Why don't you try taking a nap? Maybe it'll only affect you at night.
I think I could fall asleep right now.
Yeah.
You could indeed. You have not had a long rest.
Why don't you lay down right here, buddy?
I mean, if you'd like, you could do it now. I mean, if it is related somehow to a certain time of night, though, it might not prove as useful for this, but we could do it now if you would like.
If they could be not exhausted, I'd say that's a win.
I agree.
Okay. Whatever works. I mean, this will sound... Yeah, there's no way this will sound good. I was going... If one of you could not, it would be helpful for...
I'll do it. Don't let the kids suffer.
Haven't you had the least amount of sleep, though?
It's fine.
No,
Just so that if he is not affected right now while sleeping, we can test it again at night. Just, to cover as many possibilities as we can right away.
Can I roll insight on this cleric? So I'm just trying to figure out his motivations here. Is he more interested in helping them or in figuring, or is this like a mystery to him?
You could insight check him indeed. It's hard to pin down exactly what his intentions are. I mean, he definitely seems like he genuinely wants to help them, but there might be some ulterior interest as well.
Okay.
And you didn't incite his claims about multiple religions, so...
I believe it made sense to me.
Okay, so then you're going to be sleeping now, then, Uva? In the presence of the cleric?
I'd like to go to the mess hall and just get food for everyone and bring it back here.
I mean, that would be fine. As some time passes, it seems that, for the most part, for the next, what was I going to say, 6 hours instead of 8 here for the long rest. Are you trying to do a long rest or just a short rest?
I need a long rest.
Let the boy sleep.
All right. So I mean, you could do other activities during this time, like. If there's would there be anything anyone wants to do, or not really?
Well, now I'm really interested in human sleeping, so I'm going to watch him sleep so I can figure out how. It looks very creepy.
About that. Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit there and read my book.
August is just trying to stay awake.
Yeah, it's a little tough for you, but especially just watching someone else sleep.
Yeah.
A little torturous, probably, but
I can give you some flashcards if you want to stay busy.
I think I'll pass.
But yeah, so 6 hours passes, and it seems that the entire time nothing disturbs him, and you do wake up after this time, fully rested.
Oh, guys, I feel so.
Interesting.
So though.
Is he still cursed, Mr. Cleric Man?
Yeah, how many times can you do that a day?
Yes, there is a limit. I could do it now. I mean, I can. Yeah, that'll work. And then I could at least do a rest myself before tonight. Yes. Okay. And he looks him over once again. Huh. Indeed, he is still cursed.
How strange.
So perhaps due to this time of day, perhaps we are to become nocturnal adventurers. Just circumvent the curse entirely.
It's Possible. I suppose we'll find out tonight. If you think you can last. Of course, if you don't, I mean, we can always postpone it, August. But
It's fine. If everyone else is fine with it, you know.
We can make sure you stay awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me if I start falling asleep.
I can, yeah.
well, if you wouldn't mind, then I think I will need to take a quick, brief rest myself to prepare for tonight.
No problem.
If you could just come back, what time actually were you sleeping before?
We went to bed around midnight.
Okay, if you could come back around the same time, just so it's the same circumstances, that'd be quite helpful.
How? Well, don't fall asleep.
Yep.
If it helps, I can,
Why don't we go and spar for a while, August? That will keep you awake.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna be tired afterwards.
I know, we'll spar all day.
I'll try and do that.
It must be getting on in the day at this point.
It's about
That's
6
the
o'clock
motivation.
now.
Yeah.
You start to fall asleep, I can electrocute you awake.
Probably not that extreme.
That's alright, I'll just punch him in the face if he falls asleep whilst we're sparring.
But
Yeah.
what if that knocks him out even more?
Surprise. Okay, so would any of you like to do anything else before midnight?
I would like to discuss the matter of sleep with Ruth. Just, what's
What it
dreaming?
is?
What's it like?
Question: what have you guys been dreaming of specifically?
I'd rather not say.
I think it might be very important for you to say that.
It ain't.
Are you?
I mean, it's probably relevant. If something is doing this to you, it's probably giving you specific dreams.
Can you at least say, are the images something you're familiar with, or is it something that you hadn't seen previously?
I'm familiar with them.
Okay, something personal.
So, Oof, what were you dreaming about?
Oh, well, I dreamed of my parents.
That doesn't
And
sound
that's
like a nightmare.
A nightmare?
They got killed over and over and over and over and over and over again. Every way you could imagine.
Oh, well, that would be a nightmare, yes.
That's
Was there
exhausting
a
just
specific-
thinking about it.
A specific thing killing them? Or.
Was it a
was
memory?
It was different every time.
Was something being killed in your nightmare as well, August?
I'd rather not talk about it.
I mean, okay. You're the one having nightmares, but if you don't want to talk about it, I suppose. I mean, Oof, are your parents alive?
Right now, I have no idea. They disappeared when I was a kid.
Oh,
But you haven't seen them die.
yeah. So the dream is not something that you've seen before.
No, I mean, I woke up and camp was deserted and no one was around, and I haven't seen or heard from them since.
Huh. How unusual.
But yeah, actually, as the next few hours pass, August, you can make a con save to see if you can stay awake.
Fall asleep so I can shock you.
God.
It's horrible.
You are able to push through and stay awake. Difficult, but
Yeah.
it's not the worst. That I mean, you've gone before without sleep, but it's still rough. At this point, it's midnight is approaching.
Yeah, let's go see the cleric and sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. As you do go back to the tent, he is waiting there, kind of seeming to wake up himself, having to take a long rest for the past 6 hours or so. Okay, so there's a few ways that we could approach this. One, like I said, is to basically do nothing and see if it still happens, or if something seems to be disturbing you during your sleep, which might prove helpful in the sense of trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Otherwise, I mean, I could just cast protection from evil.
I think we should just let him sleep, and if something does happen, we'll wake him up, and then we'll actually let him sleep.
Why don't I trance now?
Mm-hmm.
And when I get up from my trance, which will take about 4 hours, we'll wake him up and see what's been going on, and if he's having the nightmares. And if he is, you can do your protection from evil thing, and then we can let him get back to sleep and hopefully see if that makes a difference.
We'll just have to let him sleep in tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think he deserves it.
Oh, absolutely. This will be his third night without a proper rest.
That sounds reasonable. And again, it sounded like you have no idea what the source of this is or what's doing this.
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's understandable. I mean, it's even a little beyond me right now, but then yeah, this might be the best approach. I mean, if we knew what was doing it or what was causing it, it would be slightly easier to try to approach this, but for now, sounds like a reasonable plan.
Okay.
If you would, then August, and he kind of points towards an open cot.
Yeah, August just falls over on it.
Fair enough.
I'll sit down to trance next to him.
I would like to take note of the difference in sleep patterns between him and Oof.
Okay. Would anyone else like to do anything while he's sleeping for this 4 hours? No. Okay. Okay, so time starts to pass. Doesn't seem to be any visible change, at least with August. After about 4 hours, you come out of your trance, Arlen.
Okay. So when I rise, I'll gently wake August.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you having nightmares?
No.
Interesting.
Cleric, sir, is he still cursed?
Let's see. And then he actually need to read the full spell real quick.
So, if they're cursed, I'm speaking out loud, if they're cursed and it's no longer affecting them now that we're here, we can also consider that this effect may have a range, and perhaps, being far away from the village, they are out of it. If that's the case, then it increases the possibility that it was a villager that cursed them.
Or it could be the proximity to the cleric here.
Is that?
Perhaps.
That pop up?
Cleric, sir, would this place be
I
considered
knew it!
protected?
I knew it was a night hag!
Oh, God!
Shh! Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Oh, God!
It's just nice to know that I was right, that's all.
I hadn't considered that, and I'm now afraid.
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm using night hags in the game that I'm running at the moment.
Like I said, pay no attention to the man
no-
behind the curtain.
What night hag?
I've never heard of that.
30 feet.
Actually, I would have. Those are fey.
Well, I guess you'll be finding out anyways.
I think night hags are fiends, actually.
I thought all hags were fey.
They are something.
We'll find out.
Yes, sooner than later.
Won't ever.
As he casts to detect to see if he's still cursed, at first he does seem to nod and in agreement, but then pauses. There seems to be some kind of presence within the camp.
Interesting.
Excuse me?
Yes,
Viewing presence.
whatever magic is being used here for this curse seems to be in the camp. Not
Oh.
here, but nearby.
I'll like jump to my feet.
Yeah. I'm going to run out of the tent and immediately look for somebody suspicious.
I'll stay here. I'll be like right at the edge of the tent. I'll be right on the outside. I just want to make sure it doesn't come in here and like.
So we're in this tent, right here.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I'll burst out of the tent and I'll immediately start looking around. Oops, no, here.
Yeah, just way over there. Okay, you can make a perception check if you like.
Ooh, 20.
You don't see anything.
I'll run around to the other side and do the same. Oh, that wasn't.
Again, nothing.
However you are, stop doing whatever you're doing to my friend. We know you're there. Come and face us.
Silence.
I'd like to cast Mage Armor. Just in case.
Is there anybody moving around the camp at the moment?
It's pretty quiet, although you hear some rustling and some tents now that you were screaming that out, but
Yeah. Can anyone create a bright light?
No.
I can use a torch.
Cleric person, what direction was this presence coming from?
I mean, it lasts for 10 minutes, so it's still up. It seems to be... yes, it still seems to be there. It seems to be coming from this tent. He points to that one.
Okay, so I will burst into that tent.
Okay.
Wow.
There are several sleeping soldiers, although the second you burst in, they like both jump up and try to start grabbing at their swords. But there's nothing else in there.
Soldiers, there's somebody here. Something evil. Is there nobody else in this tent?
Just look bewildered. There's nothing else in the tent, no.
Were any of them having nightmares?
Can I look at both of the Yes, soldiers, were any of you just having nightmares just now?
One of the soldiers kind of looks up and is like, yeah. Why? What? What's going on?
There's a creature that's doing something to the people sleeping. Do they both look well rested? Aside from having just woken them up.
The one that, well, yeah, they both look a little groggy, but the one that said that does look pretty exhausted.
What about the other one?
He seems fine right now.
What about you? Is he a human?
Oh yeah, they are both humans.
What's wrong with you? Why aren't you? Can I like inspect him? Why aren't you having nightmares? All the other humans are having nightmares.
I have no idea what's going on.
Cleric, is it still coming from this direction?
At which point, kind of seems to focus in again. No, it seems to be leaving north.
Which direction? Quick, Cleric, come with me and I'll chase north.
I want to go too.
Yeah, I guess August is like, yeah, I'm too tired, but I'm gonna go anyways.
Do you think that you could point it out with a 20-foot accuracy?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, do that.
Okay, he basically points like 20 feet north. It's around like, what to say, here or so right now. He's pointing towards that.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Quickly jumping.
There's no other soldiers in that area, right? This is the outside camp, right?
No, yeah, it's empty besides, the forest. But
So yeah, I get my bat guano, chuck it
and kaboom. As a fireball goes off, pauses for a second. It's still emanating from there. It's continuing to move now, though.
I'm going to sprint as fast as I can in that direction, so 50 feet is my movement speed. Can I see anything running away?
There's nothing there.
I don't have anything to help with this.
Can I see like rustling movement of like an invisible thing running away?
Unless you have some spell that can see invisibility, no.
No, I'm not looking for the actual thing. I'm looking for like places where its foot is stepping and crushing the leaves and that kind of thing.
There seems to be nothing.
Damn it.
You could make an investigation roll, though.
Keep chasing it. I'm not good at investigation, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't detect or see any tracks or anything. Are you ball chasing or?
I am, yeah.
Oof.
What?
Yeah, we're all chasing it, right?
Sure, yeah.
Are you tagging along?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have anything you could do?
I can fire a gun.
Does anyone have anything that can see invisible things?
I can try putting my night vision on, but I don't think that'll work.
You have a sneaking suspicion it will not. But
Although you should do that anyway.
Well, here goes nothing. I put them on.
Just so you can see in the dark, because this is where this is happening.
Yes, seeing in the dark would probably still be good here, but you don't. I mean, you can see, but yeah, there's nothing. It doesn't seem like there is anything there or anything.
Okay, I'm just gonna run forward. You tell me when we're next to it.
Yes, that is a good plan. You tell me when I've caught it, cleric person.
Just start swinging. Swing.
You can. It seems that with the pace, yeah, you're outpaced. So
Can I just? My strategy is, as we're getting closer and he's pointing out the general direction, I'm just ray of frosting just the whole area. I'm sweeping just in that general direction, just a bunch of those.
Okay.
There's an attack roll associated with that somewhere. But yeah, I'm just doing that.
Okay. As you're kind of shooting, these bolts out. It doesn't seem to be having any direct presence or impact right now, but it's hard to tell.
Come on, cleric. Are we still heading in the right direction?
I think so.
Can you cast anything else?
I mean, I don't know what I would even do here.
Where is it right now, cleric? Where is it right now? And I'll catch it because I should be able to move faster than something trying to move invisibly.
It's right. It kind of seems to focus in again, which is a little difficult while running, but it's right there and just pointing at empty air right in front of you.
Let's stab
reach
it.
out. I'm going to grab it
I'm gonna stab
right
it.
in front of me.
Nothing. It's literally just like trying to grab air or punch air, basically.
Damn it.
I don't actually think it's possible for us to get it.
As you are continuing to chase it,
Quick,
I mean,
take the other end of this rope, somebody.
Okay.
Now spread out. I will bring a line to catch it.
What if it can see us and ducks?
Well, it's worth a try.
it's worth a try, indeed.
We're clearly able to keep up with it. So whatever you
Well,
are,
we
you
can't-
clearly can't outrun us. So
I should have hit it with something by now, though. That fireball should have hit it, I think.
Okay, as you are all continuing to run, did you just so I know for sure here. Is Papa with you, or did you just chase off after them?
Shit.
I don't believe Papa. We just ran off so quick.
Okay. Fair enough. All of you make a perception check.
Yes, sir.
Of all the times to roll low.
Oh,
Dun, 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 dun,
and I
dun,
think we're the
dun,
best at perception.
dun, dun.
Bad.
Yeah, I'm not so hot at perception, folks.
Why don't you? Yeah.
There's all
Okay.
for you, August.
August, as you're running and trying to actively look for this thing, you do feel another presence there. And out of the
Incidentally, I can't be surprised because of the alert feat. That
Yep.
makes a difference.
It will indeed, but as the corner of your eye, you see two flaming horses approaching you from either side.
Oh,
And
That is
suddenly
unexpected.
a deranged looking hag appears in front of you, and that's where we'll end the session.
Not a hag.
Oh no.
You do notice that each of those horses seems to have a rider as well.
So we'll end the session right before the TPK.
Well, good luck. But
That's
yes,
right. Only one hag, not three. We're not totally screwed.
Oh, before I forget, I did want to say something. I've been meaning to. From like December 26th to like January, I think like 16th, I'm not gonna be able to play. I'm gonna family trip, so I just want to give a heads up.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, I won't be around next weekend, and I'll be late the following.
Yeah, I did want to do a quick check on that one, actually. Obviously, Thanksgiving is next week, so I did want to see if everyone else would be able to come to the game or not in terms of like availability and whatnot.
Thanksgiving's on Thursday, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I should be fine.
Even I know Thanksgiving is on Thursday.
Listen, it happens once a year. I forget.
No, it's always the first Tuesday of November.
Yes, always. Universally.
Oh.
I mean,
All right.
next week is just a regular week for me, so I am
Yes,
available.
for you indeed.
What? You're not celebrating? What's wrong with you?
No, next week is the week that we over here we all get annoyed because all of our American colleagues just stop answering the phone. Sometime around midweek for no apparent reason.
And you, what about you, Aaron?
yeah, I should be fine.
All right. Just for the sake of next week, I will reveal the bottom little area. This is kind of what you have just seen up here, basically.
Oh. What?
Oh,
Oh no.
They look like succubi.
Yeah,
They do
this is
indeed.
what I think this is. So you're like, the Knolls didn't quite do it. Let's make sure I get it right this time.
I mean, you
We
do go
have-
chasing after an evil presence into the forest.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying.
True, but the demonic horses, a pair of succubi, and a night hag is like.
Also, one of us is exhausted by at least 2 levels.
Technically, he has actually had a long rest, I'll say. So
Okay.
Oh, okay, so he's.
Because that
he won.
really would have been the kicker. I don't know if we could have functioned like that.
You guys just saw Oof running back to camp.
I mean, I
This
guess
is
that is
interesting.
a slight issue here for that. Would you prefer him, like leaving to a camp or having me control him in combat?
Yeah, what do you guys want? Because it doesn't matter to me.
Can we trade Oof for Papa? If we could have Papa, I'd be fine with that. Then you don't have
I
to
don't mind.
roleplay Oof.
I'm good either way.
I guess we'll figure it out.
Just
I've
don't
just been
kill
wanting
Oof
to
or
cast a
Papa
large
off.
on Papa for a very long time.
Daryl, that's you. You're the one who said you were going out on December.
Yes, December 26th to like the middle of January.
All right.
I'll be in South Africa, so I don't think I'll be able to get on my computer.
Maybe not.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We can figure something out, but
Yeah.
Or we could just take 2 months off. Pick up this hag thing later.
God, the longest cliffhanger in history.
surprise, mom.
The
Next
seasonal
season.
break.
Yeah,
What are we called now? What's our game called? Is it still the Constables of Ul'dan, or is it the
I
Servants
feel like
of...
it should be like the diplomats of Orthan.
something like that. Yeah.
Emissaries, maybe?
All I'll say here is good luck. But
Yeah.
I mean,
that-
is it really worth renaming the game when we're all about to die?
Yeah, what are we gonna be the next time? We're gonna time skip later to when Orthan is the Empire. And then we'll all just play evil people.
Yeah, that's how we get around keep wanting to call it the Orthan Empire. We all die, it does become an empire, and then we can all call it the Empire properly.
I do legitimately believe that it's an evil empire, we just don't know it
I
yet.
know, it just feels so
It feels real bad. Like when I was like, oh, we're going to take the village by force then. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Still, to be fair, if we do take it by force, we will be bringing the, Enlightenment and, taking over the racist village and making it better. So
I'm not too...
that felt kind of good. That was like, I feel like I should be calling it the Empire, but it's also really nice to shut down the racist.
Yeah.
Speaking of evil empire, and racist and people that need fixing, did y'all hear about our lovely state senator here in Ohio?
No.
The very anti-gay one who was caught in a bathroom with another man on Monday or Tuesday.
I feel like that happens anytime anyone is super anti-gay. They get caught.
Yeah,
It's happened way too many times.
he had to resign the same day from the state senate.
God.
Man, that's just such a cliche.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the positives of. Yeah, I mean, at least he's not in the state senate anymore. I guess.
Yeah.
No.
Hallelujah.
And hey, at least you're not fighting a hag coven yet.
Yeah.
God. Those are. I nearly TPK'd the group I was running because I wasn't really paying enough attention to like the CR stuff, and it's like, don't forget if they're in a coven, they're CR7. I'm like, oh right, so the coven is CR7. And like, no.
No, they're
Each
each
night has in the
CR7
coven
because they become
CR7.
12th level.
Because they get
characters.
so many good spells. I
And
bite
they-
everyone.
They've got like 100 hit points each, and they're super dangerous even without their spells. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like,
some of
whoops,
it-
that
just-
would have been a
Just
CR
so
21
you're not like
character.
entirely worried. Some of the stats have been changed. So and like I don't follow exact CR, so it's all
No,
good.
no, that's good.
Or-
We're gonna tame those nightmares and make them ours, right?
Yeah.
Thankfully,
Any of us evil enough to ride one?
you just got it out for us, don't you, Lucas?
Well, you did again chase an evil presence through the forest. That's all. I
That's true.
mean,
This is not the first time we've chased something fiendish and had it come back to bite us.
But
so-
at least this time we're all together except for Oof.
yeah,
It's the same.
and as a small note, right now you did chase them through the forest, but you have an entire camp of soldiers a couple
Also,
hundred feet away
that's
from
true.
you,
The cleric came with
Yeah,
us.
we have a cleric.
Yeah.
and you also have a cleric with you, not a particularly
Thank-
powerful one. But
If he can cast Cure Wounds, I'll be infinitely happy
Yeah.
that he's here. And we also will take him with us everywhere. We won't let him go back to camp.
He's a non-denominational.
Can we just
I'm just saying,
absorb him into our party?
all major encounters have the possibility of killing you, but they're also. I try to make sure that, well, not all encounters are winnable, but you always have resources, if nothing else.
Maybe that's what Ufei's doing. He's going back to get help.
Yeah.
Did we get any like XP for completing the task or anything?
Yeah. Indeed, you did.
We should have gotten XP just for that whole Skype fiasco.
Yeah.
We conquered Skype, guys. That's worth 10,000 XP.
Is there any chance that we're level 7 before this?
Sadly, even if you were, you'd have to take a long rest to gain the benefits of that.
Well, I'm just saying, if technically
one
we
of you
got the
could be
EXP
level.
from
I
Mars,
did
then
just
we
take a long
rested
rest,
after
not
that.
2
But no,
seconds before starting this chase. So, you know.
I would say probably for this 2,000 each, so you're all at 20,000. And if you survive the encounter, you will most likely level up. Pretty much guaranteed.
Okay.
That'd be great for me.
It'd be great.
Yeah, it's good for me. I get evasion.
You have a slight. I guess you are slightly. Well, one of you is slight. Two of you are slightly handicapped, more so than others. Since August is currently 10 max HP down, and Oof is 5 max HP down.
Oh, God.
Yeah, those hag curses are nasty.
I didn't even register that you were not okay after the first night.
Me too. I just did not realize that at all.
I realized afterwards that you mentioned something, but you didn't make a big deal of it, so I just ignored it.
Well, yeah, August wouldn't really make a big deal of it. That's the thing.
God.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we took such alarm to it when we did, because if we had put it off for a couple more nights, it would have been really bad.
Yeah, I think at the third night, when August started, like, have just total exhaustion, he'd probably be like, yeah, something bad's happening.
To be fair, most likely.
When you get to like exhaustion level 6, you can't move. I think is that when
You're essentially immobilized, I think.
Guys, I finally have to confess. I physically am no longer capable of moving. I may be wrong. I don't want to alarm anybody.
But to be fair, if you hadn't actively tried to do this right now, you might not. It might have taken quite a bit longer because it wasn't targeting you that night. You have led a hag to your camp, so
True.
So that's great.
Now, was the hag in the forest or one of the villagers a hag? We're gonna have to go
That
back
is
and
a
like
good
take
question,
attendance.
isn't it?
We're taking attendance after this.
And
You've gone.
and I mean, there
And were
was a
the
lot
two
of strife,
succubus?
and of course, some of that was racial, but there might be other things going on in that village.
Maybe the hag was
Did we
taking
just-
advantage or something.
Did we just? What if it's a whole village full of demons? What if this is just bad? Everything we did was bad.
Yeah, we just annexed a whole village.
Our demon percentile just went way up.
Well, if any of your characters have any knowledge of hags, which I suppose the only one that might is Alice, just because of your magical knowledge. So you almost rolled high enough to actually just straight up know that it was a hag curse. But you would know that in general, there's not large groups of them. The largest they ever get is about 3. So.
But apparently they're chilling with succubi. So I don't know who their
Now,
friends
are those horses or unicorns?
There are nightmares because someone in D&D really likes fucking
Nightmares.
puns. Yeah,
Oh my god.
that is their actual name. Yeah, I
They're
know.
like bad. I think they're made when you rip a Pegasus's wings off and do some unholy
That
bad
sounds
ritual.
about right. Yeah.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
yes, the
they're
reason
real
why,
dark.
of course, that you were not doing anything is they were all in the ethereal plane.
That's what I figured out after the first fireball.
Oh, that makes
So,
sense.
like, I
You were
definitely
literally
should have
doing
hit something.
absolutely nothing to them, and if you didn't have a cleric with detect evil on,
We physically can't hurt them until they let us.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't know if we can finish the fight because I think they might be able to do it again. It's gonna
And
dive
here-
bomb us from the ethereal plane.
I was concerned that maybe we should, start a society for the protection of the promotion of the elf. I can't even speak English anymore. Elfish welfare at the
spew,
little town.
yeah.
Yes, but
Oh,
I
Harry
think we
Potter.
have bigger problems now.
Definitely.
And to think, if we hadn't detected her, she would have successfully gotten us to blame all of the elves in that other town. We were
Yeah.
so close to going back there and attacking her.
to be fair, if you had had a discussion with certain elves, they might have known something about it. There
Did
might
the
be.
elves know that there was a hag and they were just letting her be because she only hurts humans?
You have no idea, but
That legitimately could be the case.
That
my
probably
God.
is.
She can't do the nightmare thing to elves. She can only
'Cause you
do
don't
it to
sleep.
people that
Yeah.
sleep.
That is okay. We may have to burn that entire village to the ground.
Yeah.
They may all be
That's what
assholes.
I was kind of wondering, because I was like, oh, is it going to be a double subversion? Is it going to turn out that the racists are bad, but the real bad people are the elves who are like making the racist people look extra racist by like
This
doing
is what
weird
we
magic
get.
shit.
For trying to be nice people, giving
Yep.
everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
well, at the very least, next session shall be interesting.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna.
And I will
guys.
remind everyone just quickly that not all fights have to be fought.
Yeah.
I understand, but until we have a reason to believe that we can't,
Yeah,
I
like
don't
I
know why
said,
we wouldn't.
Oof just ran back.
Just like, fuck this. Fire horses, I'm out.
Yeah. We shall have. I'm beginning to think that. No, I'm not beginning to think. Silent maybe beginning to think that he's completely invincible because he can just come back from death every time.
Oh my god, that's bad.
It's just like, what do I care? I can just walk back into my body again.
At the very least, just to confirm, sorry, something quickly with Sunny. Probably what I'll do is Ufa did run back to camp to alert the camp what's going on, and the rest of the party knows that, so you can possibly expect help eventually. But
Just send Papa first. Get him running.
yes, I mean, if it's okay with you, I probably won't include Oof in combat just because of the risk of you not being here. Then him dying in combat seems kind of unfair. But
I would cry.
But would you be fine if you did send forward or back, like you sent back to them
Papa.
first? Yeah, like you were just like, hey, like go.
As long as I can recapture or rebuild him when he's killed.
As long as you have access to his body.
They're gonna steal his body.
Don't be hauling him off to some ethereal plane.
Well, we'll find out. Although I don't think hags have much interest in Robo T-Rexes, but
You never know.
or you maybe will have just enabled a hag riding a Robo T-Rex.
That would be an
Just think about that.
big bad.
Think about what you've done.
We could see this hag later on, Papa.
Yep. And that was when the world suddenly started to end. Alright, I'm gonna head, guys. I'll see you next week.
See ya.
Later.
And happy Thanksgiving for Thursday. Bye.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
I think I'm gonna go too, unless there's anything else. I'll get you the exact dates on my trip a little bit later.
Yeah, and we can just work something out.
You will be required to send pictures when you get back.
Oh, I'm sure many will be taken without my permission.
I'm sure, indeed, with family especially. But yeah, we can work something out and possibly just have your character be doing something else during that time, like or whatever. So it should be fine.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Later.
Yep, have a good one.
I'm out of here too. See ya.